move.
So oh my god, he tried to call Fernando Alonso's bluff and instead he tattled on himself. What an idiot. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video. We are, I think, back with what's going to be probably one of my favorite videos. It is a video that sort of stems off of our 2007 F1 review. So if you didn't go and see that video, please go take a look at it. Which also there's another video that's going to stem off that as well. It is for the last race, the Brazilian, I think it's Sao Paulo? Is it Sao Paulo? The Brazil Grand Prix from that 2007 season. We have not taken a look at it yet. It is the last race. I think it was like 4 or 5 people all in contention for the F1 championship. I sort of know how it happens, but I don't know how the race happens. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But there was controversy in the middle of the season. I think everyone told me to go look up SPYGATE. And so we're gonna take a look at that. I do apologize. My voice is kind of gone. So we're still gonna be our normal selves. But anyway, we're gonna get into this video, sort of learning, hopefully, a little bit about F1 SPYGATE. If we should take a look at a longer video, let me know, and please tell me the stuff in the comments. Also, all of my people out there in the comments, this is why I read. So I read the comments. This is why I respond to you guys. This is why I fuck with you guys. I love the F1 crew. Hopefully the audio desync issues I've been having in my past couple of videos are fixed. I'm hoping. But either way, we're gonna find out in the edit of this video. But yeah, let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video obviously down in the description below. Please go take a look at it and go support some small creators. We need to at this rate.
2007. A simpler time. The world wasn't heading straight for global damnation. Apple had just unleashed its plan for global domination. Manchester United were actually good, and a young bloke from Stevenage called Lewis kept making a Spaniard.
Let's just fix. The audio sounds fine. I just can't see. I can't see what's happening in front of me. But okay.
Very angry. It was against this backdrop that a woman named Trudy walked into a Surrey copy and printing shop, documents clutched in her hands.
Hello customer, I'm Will and welcome back to Formula Printing 1.
For God's sake, I haven't got time for this. I need these pages copying as quick as possible.
Oh my goodness, what's happening?
Right, okay, what's the name, please?
Cochran. Truly Cochran. Say, what's all that stuff behind you?
What, this stuff? Yeah, I'm a proud member of the Tifosi. I mean, I've even got a bottle of the engine oil from the F2004 back here somewhere. Like, I can't imagine having to have that come in handy again in the future, right? What?
What is
Nothing at all. Just copy these damn things, okay?
Yeah, okay. Honestly, the amount of Karens we have in today. Oh my God. Surely not. I've got to call Jean.
Although he didn't know it at the time.
Is this really how it went? Because if this is really how it went, that's absolutely nutty. If they literally, so this is what I'm getting from this, is they brought copies of something from Ferrari into like a copier, which also, think about it, having to like go and do that, bring stuff in to get copies of from somewhere else entirely. And it was just a fan of Ferrari and he noticed what he was copying.
Young Will was about to start the most expensive, controversial, and scandalous chain of events Formula 1 has ever known.
That is really how it went. Oh my God. Like go to a copy shop 3 blocks down from there probably, and you get away with it. That's insane that actually went that way. Is he trying to make this like a James Bond title? I actually cannot imagine the amount I've already put into this. I like this.
As with any good spy story, it all begins with Monaco and some mysterious white powder. While setting their car up for the upcoming Grand Prix, Ferrari mechanics noticed a whole bunch of white powder in the fuel tank of their car. Unsurprisingly, this wouldn't be the last time that Ferrari messed around with anything fuel related on their car, but because this actually worked in their detriment, they started their own internal investigation. Every member of the Ferrari pit crew was searched until the culprit was finally identified. And of all people, It was their chief technical director, Nigel Stepney. Stepney had fallen out with Ferrari after they didn't let him progress his career past the role of technical director. When the team found out he'd spoken to the media about this, the Ferrari mob weren't best pleased. They only let him travel to a select few Grand Prix that season, one of those being of course the Monaco Grand Prix where Stepney did the deed. Now, whilst being caught in Monaco with a mysterious...
So he's actually sabotaging an F1 car. That's what we're getting at for the story. You're sabotaging an F1 car mid-race. Things that could hurt multiple
isn't
people.
necessarily something out of the ordinary. Ferrari still naturally took a very dim view of the situation and dismissed Stepney from his role. However, it was at this time that the call came through from the copy printing shop telling Ferrari that someone had stolen their information. As a result, Ferrari started a legal investigation against Nigel Stepney and a mechanic from the Mclaren Formula 1 team in the UK. This mechanic was subsequently revealed by Autosport to be Mike Coughlin, husband of Trudy Coughlin. Sound familiar? Naturally, this landed Stepney,
wow.
Coughlin and McLaren in a little bit of hot water.
A
with the
lot of
Motorsport
legal trouble.
Council. They were dragged in front of a hearing, and Coughlin agreed to fully cooperate with any investigation.
If you can't prove anything, you best let us off the hook.
If you say so.
Both he and McLaren were able to prove that this information had not got into the hands of any employee at the team, and thus McLaren were let off with a slap on the wrists, Ferrari were left very angry, and the sport's most controversial moment was nipped in the bud before it could even get going.
That's fake, right? Yeah, I was going to say there's no
This
way
whole
that actually
situation
lasted.
very much blew over until the weekend of the Hungarian Grand Prix. During qualifying, Fernando Alonso pulled an epic pro-gamer move and deliberately held up Lewis Hamilton in the pit box. This meant that Lewis couldn't complete a timed lap, and Fernando subsequently went on to get pole position by quite some margin in that race. The FIA naturally took a very...
There's literally so much to these honestly, he's blowing through information for me, but he's actually making it so unique. I love it. But why Fernando Alonso? Why? I didn't realize they had beef like that. I did not realize Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, they were both competing for the title, obviously, and teammates, which I've learned from you guys, teammates are not actually teammates in F1, but also, why be a dick like that? Why be a dick like that?
With a 5-place grid penalty for the race. However, McLaren team principal Ron Dennis also took a very dim view of the situation, and him and Fernando came to blows. In a heated argument that evening, Fernando threw his toys out of the pram and threatened to go to the FIA with the full story of what happened between McLaren and Ferrari. This really rattled Ron, and so trying to call Fernando's bluff and damage control the situation, he went straight to Max Mosley of the FIA to try and defuse the situation.
Max, I've done nothing wrong. That thing I told you to let us off the hook about, you can't let us off the hook.
Congratulations. You've played yourself.
This apparent big brain move
So oh my god. He tried to call Fernando Alonso's bluff and instead he tattled on himself. What an idiot. I love this.
from Ron would end up being a curse. Whilst he seized the initiative from Fernando Alonso, he also caught the attention of Max Mosley, who now knew that something was up. Sensing blood, the FIA
They just went
reopened
straight
their
for it, didn't they?
investigation into McLaren and offered the drivers full immunity if they turned over any information they had to share. And oh boy, did Hamilton, Alonso and De La Rosa have some information to share. Specifically, there were 288 texts, 35 phone calls, and
33,000 emails
between the drivers and, of course, Mike Coughlin explicitly mentioning the data from Ferrari. One email from De La Rosa to Fernando Alonso was so explicit it basically declared the whole situation.
All the information from Ferrari is very reliable. It comes from Nigel Stepney, their former technical director.
This gave the FIA...
They literally just burned all the bridges. That's so... The man told us... And all of this, could all of this stem from Fernando Alonso just not wanting to be taken over by Lewis Hamilton? And then they all had to go into the investigation and he was that's so nutty.
All of the information they needed. McLaren were about to get hit hard. Very hard. And so it came to pass that the team were handed a fine of...
billion.
The largest fine ever given out in Formula 1, and the largest fine ever given out in any sport, full stop. McLaren were also kicked out of the 2007 Constructors' Championship, one which they were intending to win that year. This handed the Constructors' title to Ferrari.
That's
in
amazing.
a twist of
That
dramatic
is amazing.
irony. However,
That is
for their
so
cooperation, McLaren drivers Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton got to keep their Drivers' Championship points. The stage looked set for an epic title battle between the two drivers.
Because that's the only thing they can
But
do.
then Kimi came along and ruined it all. In December of that year, McLaren released a statement basically admitting to the whole thing, with the individual top brasses ordered to pay fines in excess of €150,000. Nigel
Which is probably
Stepney was
nothing
also
to them.
sentenced to 20 months in prison for industrial espionage. However, this part of the tale has a rather tragic ending. On the 2nd of May 2014, Nigel Stepney was killed when he was hit by a lorry by the side of the M20 motorway. Although a coroner's inquest couldn't determine an exact cause of death, eyewitness reports suggest that he may have taken his own life.
So
Whilst this video has been a largely humorous and reductive take on the events that happened during the 2007 season,
wow.
I feel it's important to remember that regardless of whatever the people involved did, they were still human beings who came under massive amounts of pressure and stress because of lapses of judgment that they made. The ramifications of Spygate still rumble on even to this day. Although the landscape of F1 is much different to how it was in 2007, incidents such as the 2020 Tracing Point and Haas's customer status with Ferrari mean that for 2021 the FIA are finally clarifying what teams can copy and what must be their own work. Will it work? Well, I guess we'll have to see if 20 W11s arrive at the grid in Australia.
Okay, that was a very somber way to end it. That was an extremely somber way to end the video, but it kind of does make sense now, all in a nutshell. Fernando Alonso and McLaren, all of the McLaren drivers, everyone at McLaren knew exactly what was happening. They wanted to beat Ferrari. It was essentially McLaren versus Ferrari. They did kind of just spoil the ending of the 2007 season for me, which is kind of going to suck, but I guess we gotta wait to see how it happens. But Ferrari essentially ended up taking everything anyway, and they were the victims of this whole scenario. Realistically, like, obviously their own technical director tried to put stuff in their gas tank. They just did. That's a whole insane scenario. 100 million. I wish more governing bodies of sport would actually take these types of penalties against their own organizations, because it would lay down the law. It makes sense. You're the governing organization. You're not supposed to help out teams that break the rules. You're supposed to destroy them. It's the same thing with, like, Deflategate in the NFL. They did not, I don't think they went down hard enough on the New England Patriots. Because that was kind of brutal, but at the same time, you weren't going to stop New England, whether they deflated the ball or not. That's a whole different discussion. But anyway, that's the sort of mindset that I have for it. But let me know what else maybe that was missing in this video. Amazing video, by the way. Actually made sense to make it a little humorous, but then keep it real about the end, about the entire ramifications of humans' decision-making. Multiple people's decision-making. It wasn't just him alone. He had people... McLaren could have reported him immediately and said, we don't want these plans, we don't need these plans, we're going to go and win anyway. And that would have nipped it in the bud immediately. Yes, he would have probably been released from Ferrari, but maybe it could have saved a man's life. So that's just my thought behind it. But obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this, and I will try to work on getting my voice back. But yeah, peace.